friends out there. Hello, 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 hello. Hi, you guys. I'm walking. It's hot today, but it's not brutally hot. There is a pretty nice breeze, but it is hot. You would get a bad sunburn if you got out in that sun. So I know I have to exercise to keep my heart strong and also to control my weight. I think I mentioned to you guys that I noticed these women that were like 100 years old and fairly healthy spent the entire day walking. See how pretty? So I know I have to exercise. Hi, you guys. So I want to talk to you guys. You know, I watch a lot of these prophetic, what are they called, words or videos. And I think that these words and videos are superficially correct. But it's a superficial looking at things. You know, everything's bad. No, people don't have jobs. And this is bad. So I decided to do my spin on things. Okay, I told you down through the generations, my people have suffered some hard times. I have suffered some hard times. And during those hard times, I complained a lot. You know, when I prayed, I go, God, how could you let this happen to me? I don't deserve this. I work hard. I am doing everything I can. Why? Okay, it's bad, okay? But if you have terrible problems and you pray, oh good shape, and if you pray, what happens to me, and it will happen to you too, is a thought will pop into your mind, and it will be something like, wow, you better go to that food bank now. And so I used to think it was just myself talking to myself, or wow, this doesn't look good, I better prepare. I heard a good video, and it was like how religious people endured, and how they endured is they knew persecution was coming. So you take a totally different approach if you know what is coming. And they were able to endure. They knew it wasn't good. Like if you stockpile food when it's not looking good, it's not that you're like a pessimist. It's just that you're determined to prepare for the future. Like in my case, it was to the point. I remember it was to the point where I would have to work 3 jobs just to pay my bills, and I thought we were living pretty lowly. But now people can't even work. You can't even send your children to school. You can't even go to church. I mean, really, did you ever think that would happen? Well, it happened. So now what we have to do is we have to say, oh no. One of the main things is we want to make sure we educate our kids ourselves. But if there's programs that are safe, I would take advantage of those. Same thing with food. If there are programs that you can get free food, do it now. Don't be prideful. My grandfather worked in the hot sun, to provide for the family. And then he suffered greatly, from skin cancer because he was a very light guy. My dad drove from San Diego to El Centro to work 16 and back 16, 17 years. worked 2 jobs, teaching school and selling technical courses. And in time, things were good, but it wasn't always that good. Sometimes it was really, really bad. But you do have that frame of reference of living good and then living not so good. So at least you know where you're going. But all you have to know is during the bad times, you want to just hold your ground as best you can. You're just like trying not to sink lower. But if you do, you have to just endure it. You have to buck it up. And basically, at times, you have to suffer. So things could look pretty bleak. But what you have to do is you have to say, okay, cast around in your mind, is there any possible way I could get some help somehow? Could I go to a food bank? You can't really go to churches and socialize. So, and could I find out ways to get outside and, get some exercise? One of the things that I'm working on after this nightmare is creating an environment where I live my life outside at my dwelling. I mean, even if all I had was the balcony, is better than nothing. Or, if there's playgrounds or parks or, like Lake Murray. So what I'm doing after this nightmare is I'm finding ways to live my life outside. Nothing is more unhealthy than staying in your little house all day. But notice like I'm socially distancing? Yes. Am I exposing myself to the corona? No, because that might be unhealthy. The shopping center is not too busy. And there's sheriffs driving around. I don't know why. That's not usually a good sign. But anyway, so what we have to do is say, the main thing is don't let yourself starve to death. Don't let yourself end up homeless. If you are looking in that direction, also, never do harm to yourself, no matter what, because usually at that point of total despair, God will help you somehow, or a person will help you somehow. You don't have to do underhanded things to get by. That is not necessary. Keep a good eye on your kids. Don't be trusting right now. And make sure, you have food, water, gas, and cash. And keep your nutrition best you can. All you need is like cereal and milk for breakfast. Just start drinking powdered milk or stockpiling it, or evaporated milk. A sandwich with a fruit or a small salad. For dinner, some kind of meat, potatoes, rice, and beans. And some vegetables, maybe some canned fruit. So when you get it into your mind, you get it into your mind, what you're going to really need, it's not so overwhelming. And if the situation is really, really bad, and it could be for all of us, just take it one day at a time. Just endure it, whatever it is. And, if you have cans of food, like raviolis or SpaghettiOs or soup, that is actually a meal. So if you have, or packages, but cans are better, and they're saying they're going to do away with cans, you can open those cans and you can eat it right out of the can. So if you have some extra cans, if you have some dented packages, and you see somebody who's really, really down and out, and you give them one, that might just be all they need to get through till the next day. And like a lot of people just don't know what to do when things start unraveling. So one decision that I learned how to do this years ago, a lot of times your best decision is don't make a decision today. Just, endure through the day, because sometimes when you wake up the next day, a much better solution to the problem you think of. So, and make sure you store water as best you can. The best way is you can store it in your soda liter bottles. If you don't buy bottled water, store tap water. I can refill the water by my house. If something happens, immediately fill the bathtub. That's why you really want to keep your bathtub clean. I clean my bathtub with 1/2 vinegar and 1/2 dish detergent. I'm going to be searching for some gallons maybe of dish detergent and more gallons of vinegar. Also, try to have some vinegar in your diet that will protect you from disease. And so, just like hang out on my channel and read the comments, and don't do anything drastic. Like when you have problems, the worst thing you can do is do something drastic. That's usually not your best option. Your best option is stability. Just buy what you need, nothing else. Conserve everything. Conserve your gas, conserve your food by freezing all the leftovers. It's best, those 6 pieces of bread on those sandwiches yesterday? Yes, I ate all 6 and I enjoyed every last bite of that, and I felt so good. So now today, well, after you eat a lot like that, it's almost 5 o'clock. I'm not hungry. So start thinking about how can I get some really cheap meals, so that I'm not going to be starving. Toast with pork and beans and eggs is really, really a good meal. You can get by on that. It doesn't have to be just like refried beans and rice. Also, don't forget rice and gravy, not just potatoes and gravy, rice and gravy. And you can cut up meat and put some frozen vegetables in there, or you can make fried rice. Another thing, if you have eggs, when I get home, I'm going to make a 50/50 frittata. I'm going to make 1/2 with sausage, pork sausage links, and 1/2 with frozen vegetables and cheese, with no bread because I was a bit of a glutton. Sure did taste good though. So at night, I pray for you guys, and I change my prayers up, and I want you guys to remember this prayer, and I hope you're watching this. God, could you please send some of those angels to help my followers in need? And the thing is like a lot of people have, there's a host of heaven. There's a multitude of angels that are there to help every single one of us. And people have had visions of angels giving leaves from the tree of life for healing, and pouring vials, healing vials, and disinfectants on people's homes to protect them. And so you might say, well, Rhoda, do you believe that? Yeah, I believe that. That's, you guys, I would lose my jobs. And I had barely enough money to get by. And when I would lose my jobs, there would be a period of time for me to rebuild any semblance of a clientele. That's why I worked 3 jobs, because people just couldn't be trusted when it came to money. Another thing is you don't have to be untrustworthy. You can get by in life better by doing what is right. So I changed my prayer. God, could you please send some of those angels to help my followers? And if you need help, pray to God, could you please send your angels to help me? And could you please help me? You know, whatever it is. Oh, look, here's the good barbers. Yeah, I have no doubt if I was still doing hair, I could find a way to safely do hair. The solution would pop into my mind. I would say doing hair outside or working outside, living. See how there's nobody here? Finding ways to live outside as much as you can while we can. And prepare now. Prepare for disasters as best you can. Prepare for riots. Prepare for food shortages. If it is anything that pops into your mind, just slowly move in a direction of being prepared so that if you have to endure something, you're going to be able. Look, you guys, this is one lap you just took of me. Get outside, exercise best you can. I want to encourage you. You know, there's a saying we have, be strong in the Lord. Don't be strong in yourself. If you're strong in yourself, you're going to get all beat down and you're not going to be strong. You have to be strong in the Lord. All right, you guys, please like, comment. Oh, and if you have any encouraging words, if you would leave them for me and my followers, that would be greatly appreciated. And God bless you all.